Hi, I'm Gerri Russell, and I recently won the American Title II contest sponsored by Romantic Times magazine, and it's been a really great push for my career. With The Warrior Trainer was the name of the book that won, and it really helped launch my career. I got the email that there was down to 2 of us, and I got the email that I had won the contest. And after 14 years of publishing, after 3 Golden Heart finals, 2 Golden Heart wins, lots of close calls with getting published, I cried. It was so overwhelming. It was an amazing feeling that it had finally happened. My dreams had come true, and the AT2 contest was what really helped. I started out as a nurse. I studied nursing in school. I became a nurse. I went to work as a nurse, and I hated it. I absolutely hated watching people die. And so I decided, my husband laughs at me, he said I got out of the ambulance and started chasing them. So I became a reporter, and I worked in the field a lot. I was a field reporter, so I did a lot of stories. But the stories that I always gravitated to, the things I always did were human features about people. And so I did a lot of interviewing, exposés on people, and why is there still this little man that lives in the middle of Seattle in this little house with a little garden in the middle of metropolitan area, and there's always a great story behind why he's still there. Or I did, let's talk about, go to Chinatown, and we'll do, exposés on why they celebrate, the things that they do, and let's get underneath the dragons and see who's there and what this means. And so I always did kind of human nature stories, which I still do. And so I kind of followed that, and then I started doing more hard news. So I started doing, more of the, accidents or, catastrophes or things like that. And again, it was getting back to that part of human nature that I didn't like. I didn't like only doing the tragedies. I didn't like doing all the bad stuff, because that's what we see. You turn on the news, it's not happy. They don't do fun stories, or if they do, there's 1 or 2, but there's no balance. And so I thought, you know what? I need balance. There are some great things out there. So I started kind of looking towards other things, and then that led me to, also had children in the meantime, and that led me to something that was more 9 to 5, which was when I became a technical writer and editor, and started doing, but everything kind of comes back, because then I started doing more of the writing, technical writing around marriages and around, so I worked with doctors who studied, marriages and what went well in marriages and what didn't go so well in marriages and when the marriage fell apart. And so everything that I've written, I always start with this kind of tragic, and it switches to this human nature piece. So I finally started going, there's something to this. And so I started following my own bliss and decided that I really, really loved digging into human nature and figuring out what makes them work, and taking people who are broken and putting them back together again and giving them a happy ending.